WCBI News at 10 starts now.
The numbers continue to rise. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tara Wheeler. 1,031 new COVID-19 cases are being reported in Mississippi. The Mississippi State Department of Health is also reporting 11 new fatalities. The state's death toll is now 1,215. 981 people are in hospitals across the state with either a confirmed or suspected COVID-19 case. 205 ICU beds are filled with patients. In our area, these are the counties with the highest number of new cases today. Grenada County, which is under a state-mandated mask order, saw 34. Lafayette County had 27 and Oktibbeha 21. Mississippi is recording its highest one-day total of hospitalizations, and that follows along with the warnings we heard from the medical community yesterday that things are getting worse. Our Courtney Ann Jackson has the latest on what's behind some of the numbers.
Hospital capacity numbers for Mississippi aren't easy to find, at least not with complete data. The CDC has some numbers that show Mississippi is utilizing about 60% of its capacity, but a closer look reveals only about 40% of the hospitals are reporting numbers to that. But the Mississippi Hospital Association notes that bed counts don't tell the whole story.
It doesn't matter how many beds you have. Beds are great if you're a hotel. You want beds. In a hospital, you want to be able to staff those beds.
Even before COVID-19, there were warnings of both doctor and nurse shortages in the state.
So, what the concern is really being able to adequately staff those beds with the type of care providers that those patients will need. And for a COVID patient, what our hospitals across the country are seeing is those COVID patients tend to stay in the hospital longer than your average length of stay for other patients.
What I also learned is that a number of the licensed hospital beds also doesn't give a full picture. For example, the Mississippi Baptist Medical Center in Jackson, they have 638 licensed beds, but only 491 active beds. That's the physical bed capacity with their current layout. 336 of those beds are occupied. They have 76 critical care beds, 32 of which are neonatal ICU beds. 53 ICU beds are currently occupied, with 14 of those being in the neonatal ICU. UMMC doctors were among those sounding the alarm Thursday. We checked in to learn their numbers Friday. On the Jackson campus, they have 400 adult beds. They are full. Of 80 ICU beds, they're also full. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
UMMC says it has also had to place some adults in the children's hospital because there was no room in the adult hospital. Well, long-term care facilities are monitored carefully for COVID spread. A nursing home in Aberdeen has numerous documented, and now some employees say they are also testing positive for the virus. Several staff members at Care Center in Aberdeen tell us they believe the virus is spreading because employees are still having to come into work despite showing symptoms and being exposed to the virus. According to the State Department of Health, since July 2nd, 32 staff members at Care Center of Aberdeen have tested positive for COVID-19. 18 residents have tested positive for it, and there have been 2 deaths due to the coronavirus at that facility. Workers are now blaming the spread of the COVID-19 cases on what they say is the center's poor leadership.
Since I went back, I've had at least 3, and most of them was on my hall. Most everybody was on the 100. They was tested positive for that stuff. So yeah, I had it, some more A's had it, so we had to pass it on to them because some of them people don't even go out nowhere. So where they won't get it from?
I don't think they're thinking about our lives at all. And we've had a lot of employees that's tested positive and showed symptoms and been in the hospital and had a bad time pulling it through. And we got residents dying. And I mean, it's bad. It's real bad.
We reached out to Care Center of Aberdeen. They tell us they're following all CDC guidelines and that they have measures in place to keep everyone safe. They declined to give an on-camera comment. Daycares are open and trying to keep students safe under CDC guidelines. However, trying to keep germs out doesn't always mean they can't get in. Our Stephanie Poole has more on what one center is doing to keep kids safe.
Over 100 kids are enrolled in Columbus Christian School. After briefly shutting down due to the pandemic, the school reopened, checking kids' temperatures and making employees wear masks.
It's what we do to make sure that everyone can be as safe as possible and yet still living your life.
Director Sylvia Collins says everything was going fine until a student contracted the virus.
On July 4th, we had our first case, and we followed the protocol, the state protocol, which is simply you call the health department, our contact person, and then from there we contacted immediately every parent in the room.
Mandatory quarantine quickly followed.
We closed the room for the full 14 days.
Collins says to stop all possible traces of the virus, every child from that classroom along with their siblings were sent home.
The health department received word that the siblings were not to come also, and we did not allow any of the siblings to come into the building either. And of course, any teacher that had had contact with that classroom.
Nearly 17 kids were tested, all results coming back negative. To keep students and teachers at low risk, weekly deep cleanings are a must.
While they were here, we had the whole building done, and as of right now, we've not had any more cases. None of our teachers have tested positive.
Collins says the school is complying within regulations of the CDC with COVID screening. Parents are dropping off their kids at the front door, and visitors must wear a mask along with other safety measures.
Reminding everybody, whether you're in child care or a school or a business, that transparency is the only way to do the contact tracing. It's the only way to get it eradicated, is that you've got to be open and honest.
And Collins says all COVID prevention guidelines will remain in place until further notice. Well, if you think it might help to have a drink to cope with the stress of all the world lately, apparently you're not alone. The increased demand for alcohol in Mississippi over the past 4 months prompted the Alcohol Beverage Control Board to put the brakes on their ordering system. But in a letter to retailers and restaurant owners today, ABC says their order system is back online. Order limits are still in place, though, and deliveries may take up to a week or more until the ABC works out a way to eliminate the backlog. The ABC is the one clearinghouse in Mississippi for liquor. Businesses must place their orders through ABC and then wait for delivery instead of buying them direct from suppliers.
It is a mild and muggy July evening out there. Even as we get into the 10 o'clock hour, a lot of us are still close to 80 degrees, 79 in Eupora, 80 in Columbus, 83 still in Tupelo, and 79 up in Iuka. The good news is no rain to report out there and just a few high clouds passing by. Some good weather to check out the comet that is passing by early tomorrow morning. Mostly clear overnight tonight. Low 70s for the lows, still very mild and muggy. And taking a look ahead to the next 3 days on the Emerson Animal Hospital forecast. Tonight our pet is Penny Girl. And unfortunately, she is going to have to deal with some hot weather as she steps out the door into the backyard over the next several days. A chance of showers and storms this weekend. Not everybody going to get wet, but just keep an eye on the weather if you plan to be outside. Monday, though, and through next week, I think we dry out. Temperatures warm up, though. I'll tell you how high the mercury goes coming up in just a little bit. Tara?
All right. Thank you, Trevor. Well, just days after being sworn into office, newly elected leaders in Aberdeen are already making big decisions. Board members voted to remove its city clerk and board attorney. Jackie Benson served as the city clerk for nearly 3 decades. Robert Fulks has served as the board's attorney for the past 4 years. Samantha Griffin will now serve as the city clerk, and Walter Zinn will take over as the board attorney. City leaders also voted to give Mayor Maurice Howard his full salary back. You may remember previous board members cut Howard's salary down to roughly $19,000. Howard is now being paid $51,000. The Columbus Police Department is looking for more officers to serve and protect, and now they're going online to find them. CPD is hosting a career day tomorrow. Applicants can go to the police department in person or join in virtually. In person, tours will be given of the department, and it'll include a trip to the firing range. The department wanted to add a virtual component to the job fair to reach as many prospects as possible. New at 10 tonight, 3 people are injured in a 2-car crash in eastern Lowndes County. The accident happened on Highway 50 about 2:30 this afternoon. State troopers say a car driven by 76-year-old Ida Cash was attempting to make a left turn and collided with a car driven by 31-year-old Felicia Cork. Cork and a passenger were taken to a Columbus hospital. Cash was airlifted to a Tupelo hospital. The highway was shut down while crews worked to clear the scene. MHP continues to investigate that accident. All right, Trevor, it is a hot and muggy one out there, just real thick air.
Yeah, that's what they say. When you move to Mississippi and Alabama, it's like a swamp outside, and it really is going to feel like it. If you're hot now, it's going to be even hotter by the end of the week. I hope you've got some water, a pool, a lake or something. Take a look at this
personal fans.
Anything. One of those misting fans, perfect for this week. Take a look. Temperatures rise through the week. Humidity also rises. Heat index values close to 110. Goodness gracious, by the end of the week. Your full first alert forecast is less than 3 minutes away. Stay right here. We'll be back after this.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Well, July in the South means three things: heat, humidity, and storm chances. And we've got all three of those in the weekend forecast. Generally, not a horrible weekend. It's really what we expect here in the summertime. Temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Heat index values a little closer to 100, so staying hot and humid. And we will be talking about the chance of some showers and storms tomorrow afternoon and then again on Sunday afternoon. I've got more on that weekend forecast coming up in just a second. I want to take you up to the northeast, though. Take a look at this. We actually had a tropical storm make landfall in New Jersey, of all places, this morning. Tropical storm Faye basically centered right over New York City. Kind of unusual to see that. 40-mile-an-hour sustained winds continuing to chug off to the north about 17 miles an hour. Not an issue for us. No tropical concerns here in the Gulf Coast states. And soon enough, Faye will be just a remnant as it continues to move off to the north into Canada. Out there right now, we're actually under a mostly clear sky here at the WCBI studios in downtown Columbus. What you cannot see on the camera, though, is the muggy air. Take a look at these temperatures. We're sitting at 77 in Starkville. We are still 80 degrees at the Air Force Base as of 10:14, 83 degrees in Tupelo, 77 in Oxford, and the humidity is feeling rather high if you're stepping out the door this evening. It is one of those muggy nights out there, and we're going to stay that way overnight. 72 for the low. We'll stay mostly clear. If you're looking to see the comet tomorrow morning, skies should be pretty good for it. That's pretty early in the morning. If you're waking up to see that, I think you'll be able to see it. It is going to be muggy even as you wake up tomorrow, though, with temperatures staying in the 70s and a pretty calm wind. Tomorrow, by 9 a.m., we're already in the 80s for a lot of us, and then by lunchtime, we're getting closer to 90. Take a look at this storm complex, though, crossing the Mississippi River by about lunchtime. That's going to get closer to our area, but I really think, and all indications are, it's going to go just to our south and impact more of the Jackson area with some gusty winds, maybe some small hail. If it does happen to come a little bit more to the north and the east, there is a potential for some of us to see some more storm activity tomorrow, maybe even some gusty winds and small hail. Generally, though, I think the worst of the weather stays to our south. That doesn't mean we can't see a shower or storm through the day tomorrow. I think by the time we get to sunset, though, we are mostly clear and dry as we get into the overnight hours. The big story, though, for the next 7 days is going to be the heat. Take a look at this ridge of high pressure centered over the southwestern U.S. right now, but it continues to move eastward. By the middle of next week, it's basically right over the south portion of the U.S., right over Texas, and that means the heat and humidity continues for us for the next several days. You'll see that on the AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Chances for some showers and storms this weekend. Still hot and humid, though. Through the week, though, we really dry out. Just an isolated shower or storm. Most of us dry. Heat index values climbing to 110 by the end of the week. So stay hydrated and stay in the shade if you can. Tara?
All right. Thank you so much, Trevor. Things are on the upswing in a local downtown. We will take a look when we come back.
Watching WCBI News at 10 p.m. with Tara Wheeler.
Amory's downtown district seeing a lot of activity as business owners expand and renovate properties. WCBI's Allie Martin has more on the activity and what it can mean for the area.
Downtown Amory is experiencing a commercial revitalization, and all the business owners involved have a couple of things in common. They're from the area and they want to see great things happen for the town. Erin Reeves and her husband Matt opened the Coffee Pot in downtown Amory in 2017. 1 year ago, the husband and wife team opened Amped Nutrition across the street. Both businesses have flourished, and when a bigger space came available in the downtown area, the decision was made to put the Coffee Pot and Amped Nutrition under one roof. For Erin and her husband, seeing the upswing in commercial development in the downtown district is encouraging.
We have just seen so many different things grow, and especially grow organically, and that's what we're most excited about. Is we have learned how to plan an event and then implement it, and then others feed off of it.
That is what is happening at the Gemstone. The restaurant and bar had its official grand opening this week and serves a changing menu of specialty items along with live music. Co-owner Chad Houston says response has been overwhelming, and Houston says it's all about having something different that can attract more people to the area.
People had asked me, are you going to serve steak and catfish? And of course, there are already a lot of places in town that do that well, so we wanted to have a menu that was pretty unique, and pretty much everything on our menu is something unique that you can't get other places. And I think that the people of Amory are pretty excited about that, to have something new. And of course, it is a bar. It's the first one in Amory.
A few blocks away, Orrin Holly is renovating the historic Park Hotel. It will feature apartments, office space, and 2 restaurants. Also, First American National Bank is expanding its space on the ground floor. Holly says business owners are caught up in the momentum, and they're eager to see each other succeed.
It's not here for competition, dog eat dog. You know, there's going to be times that I'm going to be in their establishments, they're going to be in my establishments. We're all looking as friends to be together and everybody succeed at this.
The Coffee Pot and Apt Nutrition should be in their new space under one roof by the end of August. A second space in the building has already been leased, and a third space is available for new businesses. In Amory, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Well, the Park Hotel could have its main restaurant open later this year. The apartments should be ready sometime next year. Well, still to come, the high school football continues. Stop number 19 checks in with East Union. That is next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Stop number 19 on the high school football tour checks in with East Union. The Urchins are under new leadership with first-year head coach Todd Lott looking to build on that success from the 2019 season. Take a listen.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
The East Union Urchins look to continue their dominance after winning the region last season, but will have to do so with a new head coach following Kevin Walton's departure. Now enter Todd Lott, who was the athletic director at New Albany the last 2 years and an assistant football coach prior to taking his job. Despite the turnover, Lott feels the team is buying into what they're selling.
I can't imagine how hard this is going to be. Your senior football season and your coach leaves and you got a new coach coming in. So, you know, we've just built a great relationship, and I'm really proud of them and the work they've put in.
One thing that's been evident since Lott's arrival is the team's work ethic.
Really intelligent group of kids, so, you know, we don't have to spend a lot of time teaching a lot of different stuff because usually the first time they're going to get it. And I could not be more pleased. I really couldn't. Just blessed to be here with a great group of kids.
Lott's coaching style has played a major role in the transition.
He's a teacher. He's good at teaching, saying things that you really kind of concept, and he's patient.
Coming off a 9-3 season, Lott and his staff believe a solid foundation is set and are working to build on that.
I feel like our job now is to take it to that next step. The next step, you know, just keep moving the program up and moving the bar up, so to speak.
The Urchins have a nice core in place to do so, including senior running back Colton Plunk, who rushed for over 1,500 yards last season and 20 touchdowns.
We got good receivers. We got really good running back, stepping up and quarterback. So I feel like we're gonna have the talent to get some wins.
Great group of skilled guys. We're going to try to get the ball in their hands in space, and we got, you know, 225, 30-pound running back that will make sure he touches the ball plenty of times as well.
Combine that skill and hard work, and the Urchins can have a successful season.
To this point, has had all those intangible things. You know, they love each other. They work hard every day. They're intelligent, and you know, you can't ask for more out of a coach.
East Union's first game is a road matchup against New Albany August 21st. With East Union on the high school football tour, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with East Union High School is brought to you by BNA Bank and F&M Bank.
over in Starkville, former Mississippi State Bulldog Jeffrey Simmons hosting his first football camp. Originally, the camp was supposed to be in Wcbi County, however, was moved to COVID-19. The camp was free and all kids of all ages were invited to come out and learn the game from the Mississippi Star.
That's my thing. I want to give back so the kids can see that, they have some type of, I wouldn't say hero, but someone to look up to in the community. A lot of people say, hero in our community. That's just give me chills sometimes to see that and hear that. So I'm just able, when I'm able to give back, that just, giving a free camp like this, I think it's big for the community. No matter if it, it was planned to be in Wcbi, but now it's in Starkville. And for the, it was a quick turnaround for the change and let the parents know that it's here. Like I said, we actually got a big crowd today. I'm not sure exactly how many we had. I think it was 350 supposedly. I don't know how many, but like I said, I'm just blessed and honored to have this opportunity.
That's it for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back.
All right, friends, there was a technical glitch with tonight's lottery drawing, but never fear. We've got your winning Mega Millions numbers tonight. Check your tickets. The numbers are 10, 15, 20, 49, and 53. Your Mega Ball number is 22. The Mega Plier is 5 times. And here's hoping your luck is as hot as this weekend's weather. Right, Trevor?
Yeah, here's some numbers you're not going to like as much. 92, 94, 95, 96, 96, with heat index values closer to 110 by the end of the week.
It's those heat indexes. It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
And you'll notice it. You're going to be our test cases. Say if it really is the humidity, because it gets you when you walk outside. You'll notice it.
It really does. All right, so be careful out there. It is going to be a hot and humid one. If you got to be outside, make sure you got plenty of water to keep yourself hydrated.
Stay in the shade. Get one of those misting fans like we said.
I have one, and it gets lots of use here in Mississippi. All right, thank you, Trevor. Well, that will do it for us. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend.